Enjoy every moment with the goodness of Valletta Sparkling Fruit Drink. Available in 75cl and 37.5cl bottles. Another product of premium quality from Intercontinental Distillers Limited, IDL. Valletta Sparkling Fruit Drink. Celebrate every moment.
Valletta! My papa na building contractor. Him they build fine house for people and companies there. And na Lafarge Eco Planet Unisem, him they always use build them. I ask him why. Him talk say Eco Planet Unisem they protect our environment. When I grow up, me say won't be building contractor like my papa because I go like help make the future safe too.
Lafarge Unisem don't carry new name when be Eco Planet Unisem. Sake of say with 30% reduced carbon. It don't promote to become the first low carbon every cement for Nigeria. That one means say whether not for concrete, plastering or block making, Eco Planet Unisem na carry go on another level for better and correct environment. Eco Planet Unisem, low carbon, same quality.
Nkechi, gwaghị m na nwunye gị mụrụ nwa ọhụrụ.
Nwa ọhụrụ kwa?
Nwa gị nwaanyị Nkechi siri na o nwere obere nwa nọ n'ụlọ.
Ị na-ekwu maka mkpọ obere nke 3 crowns milk dị ọhụrụ?
Obere mkpọ?
Nụ, ọ bụ obere mkpọ nwere ihe ndozi ahụ nke m zụtara iji gosi ndị dị m mkpa ịhụnanya.
Chai, eya!
Anyị na-ewetara unu 3 crowns milk mkpọ obere nke jupụtara n'ihe ndozi ahụ ma dịkwa mfe iji mee ihe. Zụta nke gị taa.
3 crowns milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Magic 102.9.
I hope you're lapping it up. If you want to hug your radio, that's okay. Listen to the sound. Feel the sound. What the heck? Smell the sound. That's not bad. The new
Magic 102.9.
Water, electricity is in politics. Women are marginalized.
As the democratic space gets broader and political activities become more intense, with many Nigerians angling for relevance and agitating for their voices to be heard, Magic 102.9 FM Aba has taken a giant leap by providing the needed platform that captures the essence of your individual, corporate, and most importantly, your political needs.
You see, the government is trying, but it's just this insecurity.
Yes, showcase your aspirations, opinions, and more as a politician, political party, government, community, organization, association, and more. Join Magic 102.9 FM Aba on People and Politics, Mondays to Fridays at 9 a.m. For inquiries and participation, please call 0903-282-3717. People and Politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
In our climb here in Africa, where we are known for, a lot of idioms or proverbs or adages, as you may like to say it, you may kill a worm because a snake bit and killed a relation of yours. And that is what I'm seeing now from the National Assembly, where in a long time, particularly since this government came on board, that the National Assembly is talking tough, but not to the president, to the stewards of the president. During the presentation of the 2025 budget appropriation, the Senate President did tell Mr. President to call his errant ministers to order. He didn't name anyone in particular. And now we're hearing that the House of Representatives is saying that erring ministries may be deleted or delisted from the budget. Oh my God. Well, why did I mention the worm and the snake? It's quite possible that one particular minister thinks that being a minister in a place that some people say should have a mayoral status means he's like a head of state or he's untouchable. Today, as we speak, that minister, we don't know whether he's of the ruling party or of the main opposition party in Nigeria. You can use your teeth to, or is it your tongue, to count your teeth. All right. Welcome to People and Politics. It's the Friday edition, and indeed, the Harmattan is harsher than it has ever been since the beginning of the dry season.
Indeed.
My name is Bonnie Onobu.
My name is Ben Nwatu. I woke up this morning and I remembered a famous statement from a very popular Nollywood actor, Nkem O, known as Osofia. In one of his popular movies, I think he visited the United Kingdom. And when he was narrating his experience to his people back home, he said, hey, that's in Nigeria. We used to hear winter, winter, winter. Until he arrived in UK, he now discovered it was Wilku, not winter. Yeah, if you understand the way, it would make lots of sense.
No, explain it. Because okay. I just saw my friend Nasiru from Sokoto State at the gate. I just said, Nasiru, yache sanu. That means there's plenty of Hamatan. This one where you talk now, talk and make I understand.
Okay, winter. Of course, you know what winter means. Nta in Igbo means small. So Socha said when he went to UK, that what they call winter is actually Wilku. Uku is plenty, is heavier. So he actually made a joke out of it, but at the same time he passed a message to his people back home. Anyways, thank you for joining us on the program this morning. We'll be taking a look at the various stories. 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget proposal passes second reading. The House of Representatives is talking tough, like Bonnie said. It has threatened to delist erring ministries and agencies of government in the 2025 budget. Well, stay tuned to find out how these ministries and agencies of the government have erred. The Attorney General of the Federation has waded into the controversy in Edo State. That's talking about the fallout between the state governor, Okpebolo, and the elected executive chairman of the local government in that state. Well, the AGF has faulted the Edo State House of Assembly over the purported suspension. NBS breaks silence as rumors of DSS arrest of statistician general spread. Yes, you may recall that sometime last week, the NBS, or this week, released a report saying that Nigerians paid over 2.2 trillion naira as ransom to kidnappers. Well, that revelation is not sitting well with some government officials. As a result, there are speculations that the man has been arrested, but the NBS is saying no, that he has not been arrested. And our final stop this morning is in Abia State, where experts have advocated for Abians to study the Abia State Administration of Criminal Justice Law 2027. All these are available on our Facebook page, facebook.com/MagicFMNG. Let's get your reactions. We're also streaming live on YouTube, Magic FM Aba.
All right, and we move. The Senate on Thursday passed the 49.7 trillion naira 2025 budget appropriation for a second reading. The budget was passed during plenary after various deliberations on the general principles of the bill by senators who applauded President Bola Tinubu for his good intentions towards the country. The budget was later referred to the Committee on Appropriations after being put to a voice vote by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who presided over the session. Recall that Tinubu had earlier presented the 2025 budget of restoration to a joint session of the National Assembly, targeting peace and prosperity, with a revenue projection of 34.82 trillion naira to fund the aggregate expenditure of 47.9 trillion naira. In the proposed budget, which has a deficit of 13 trillion naira, Tinubu earmarked 4.91 trillion naira for defense and security, 4.06 trillion naira for infrastructure, 3.5 trillion for education, and 2.48 trillion for health. The president, in his budget speech, also disclosed that 15.81 trillion naira is allocated for budget servicing, with relevant factors including 2.06 million barrels of oil production per day, an exchange rate of 1,500 naira to a US dollar, and an inflation rate of 15%, down from the current 34.6%.
Well, that's a record. A budget proposal that was presented on Wednesday. As of Thursday, the Senate passed it for second reading. I'm sure if you should accost some of the lawmakers, the senators, to ask them, have you gone through the budgets? For instance, the agricultural sector, how much is allocated to that sector? Majority of the lawmakers cannot provide answers to that. So it leaves one wondering, why are the lawmakers in a haste? Why are they always quick to pass whatever comes from the executive? This wouldn't be the first time. If you take a look back in time, during the debate as to whether we should change our national anthem and revert to the old one, you saw how quick the National Assembly was with the passage of the amendment. As soon as the president made that available, it didn't take them more than 48 hours to give him the green light. So we can also point at the judicial officers. By that I mean the judges and the justices of the Supreme Court, their Salaries Amendment Act. How quick the National Assembly was in passing that amendment from the executive. So when Nigerians say that the present National Assembly is nothing but a stooge to the executive, these are some of the actions that give credence, that render credence to those who hold such notion. At least they should pretend to have debated, to have said, okay, Mr. Senate President, please give us time, let us go through this thing, let us understand. If it means consulting an expert, let us know what we are passing. But that is not what we are seeing. So from the look of things, with this scaling second reading, maybe by January, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2025 budget is sitting before the president for approval.
If only I could play back the hand of time. I hope that is how it is said, or push back. I'd say that the likes of Saraki should come back. I would say that the likes of the immediate past governor of Katsina State should come back. Because when Saraki was Senate President, you wouldn't see things like this. One would say, yes, the way and manner he played out what was referred to as a legislative coup at the time against the government of Buhari was, the precursor or the verve or the energy that he derived in saying certain things. Even as taciturn as is it Menasara, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, who became governor of Katsina too,
Aminu
Masari. Yes, in his time, they would take time to look at how things should play out. But I can tell you that since the days of the immediate past Senate President, who acknowledged the fact that if Nigerians said they were a rubber stamp legislature, let it be, they agreed. And the way and manner the Senate led by Godswill Akpabio and his team came on board, you would know that things like this would pass with the speed of light. This is a Senate that, while debate is going on, while screening is going on, calls for a break, and in the next 5 minutes you see him in the villa. And by the time he returns and they reconvene, things changed. Just yesterday you mentioned the issue of Festus Keyamo. I think that was one of the examples of what transpired, during the tenure of this 10th assembly, which Mr. President, some said jokingly, but he knew what he was doing. Because in his perception, he knew already that they will all return. And because you want to return, you have to support the president. So it is the politics of self and for self that we're seeing. The National Assembly is also supposed to have its own internal checks and balances. And that is why you have the different parties having their candidates win election, representing their parties, but in the National Assembly speaking for the nation. Now, the APC has an overwhelming majority in both chambers, and that is the reason you're seeing all of this playing out. How could the budget that was presented on Wednesday, how could it have gone through first reading so quickly on Thursday and is going for a second reading? And I can assure you that before Christmas, which is on Wednesday next week, by the way, we will have the budget passed. Don't forget also that, passed or not, that the budget may not become effective until about June next year, because we have been told that the budget of 2024 will still be effective until June next year. So what are we talking about? Some have applauded it, some have not. But I think the critical thing to do, like a Senator Abaribe would say back in the day, prior to this 10th assembly, would be to take these things clause by clause. If nothing else, those that could be referred to some committees be referred so that they look at it and then represent, and then they can deal with it in summary, or in clusters. But that is not what we're seeing. Anything from the executive is never wrong. It must go. Well, we are suffering it. That is the best way I can put it. Because just this morning, I bought a small piece of onion for 200 naira. And it was with I beg.
You're even lucky to have seen onions.
Yes, it was with I beg. And that is a microcosm of what we're going through. A sachet of water, smaller than it used to be, is going for 50 naira. And if it is refrigerated, maybe it could go for even as high as 60. Microcosm of what we're going through. This time in years past, as bad as it might be during the Buhari era, in all honesty, you see that air of Christmas. Is there anything like that? When you go into the market, the traders are sitting down. Do you see the usual decorations that, welcome Christmas? No. Do you see the vehicles that pass from cities going to the suburban areas and the rural areas? That is history. I don't know, Ben. Even the Hamatan refused to come this year. And they just showed up today. And we are talking about it. I think the National Assembly should know that they are the heart and soul of democracy. And Nigeria cannot be different. Nigeria cannot be different. They have to change. But a situation where you have people being recycled from being local government chairmen to commissioners to governors to ministers, being senators, they go away, become ministers and return, some of them secretary to the government of the federation. Some immediately they left the government house, they became ministers in very strategic ministries. What do you expect? Political patronage. Now who make them vote for me pass? That person must come. Who spent more money when I was campaigning? That person must, who ensured that votes came my way more, rightly or wrongly? That person must get, a position. That is the kind of politics we're playing, but it's not helping the people. It is not one bit.
Okay, still from the National Assembly, this time around the Green Chambers, the House of Representatives has recommended that the listing of National Examinations Council, NECO, University of Ibadan, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment from the 2025 budget. Others affected are 21 ministries, departments and agencies for their alleged repeated failure to account for previous budgetary allocations and internally generated revenue. The resolution was reached during an extraordinary sitting of the House of Representatives Public Accounts Committee in Abuja. The decision, according to the chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salam, followed the persistent non-compliance of the MDAs with the committee's summons aimed at scrutinizing their financial operations. Among the agencies recommended for delisting are hospitals, universities, and development agencies. Salam said that delisting was or followed multiple invitations sent to the agencies over the past several months.
These agencies are headed by individuals. The individuals have names. The individuals have responsibilities. If they failed to, should we have the National Assembly, who have this oversight function, always crying like a sick baby? I think they have the right also to recommend the revocation of some appointments of certain individuals. People were there before them, and I want to believe that they actually accounted for, what they had to, in terms of what the National Assembly is talking about or asking for. Just yesterday, we talked about, the National Assembly also, particularly from the Senate, where Godswill Akpabio spoke, telling Mr. President that some ministers have been invited, some heads of agencies have been invited, and they refused to come. We have had, previous experiences of that nature. But must we continue? Doesn't the National Assembly have the prerogative of dealing with matters like that without actually shouting? Because for me, who are you shouting to? You have the stick and you have the carrot. And if you don't have any of those, then don't bother. But I think if this is a statutory constitutional thing to do, then there must be consequences for those who fail to do it, more so that others are doing. The list is big.
Indeed.
Is it that they are beyond control? These are some of the questions that we must be asking. But indeed, when people behave like that, it's because they have backers, those who they run to, and just they make phone calls even at that level, and matters will be settled. In a country where there are no consequences for erring officials of government, you know what it is. Just this morning, I read how a Chinese, general was executed, all right, for corruption, up to $420-something million corruption. He was quiet, in all honesty, and that is the kind of thing that China does to ensure that corruption is nipped. And corruption is not when you talk about Naira and Kobo alone. Corruption is when you defy, authorities. That is what I think, Ben.
Well, ours is a climb where everything revolves around one man. In this case, the man is the president. The National Assembly, naturally, I've seen the lawmakers demand the IGP to effect the arrest of some government officials for failing to appear before them to answer questions and offer explanations. But it appears they are selective with the people they apply that section of the law to. They always look at the face of Mr. President and the body language of Mr. President. If they feel or suspect that this person is Mr. President's boy or Mr. President's girl, they wouldn't touch the person. They start shouting and crying like a baby. In an ideal situation, the National Assembly should be able to have a means to force these people to make an appearance, failure upon which they bear the consequences of their actions. But as practically because there have been no consequences, people do these things over and over again. Yesterday we talked about this because during the budget presentation, the Senate president practically had to beg the president to tell his ministers and other appointees to appear before the National Assembly to defend their budgets. Should the president be the one telling the ministers, the heads of agencies and parastatals to make an appearance? No. There should be spelled out consequences. If you did not appear, you either lose your salary or you're sacked. It's as simple as that. You cannot be working for the people and you'll be running away from public scrutiny and accountability. No. If you're not willing to do that, you should take a bow. And I also hope that the National Assembly this time around will not just be all about talking. We've seen them talk and make empty threats. If someone fails to make an appearance, you declare the person wanted, ask the IGP to effect arrest, and the person should explain why he has failed to appear before the National Assembly. Until we start implementing certain sections of our law, especially when the big men are involved, we'll just be wasting our time. That's just the truth. In Nigeria, it is obvious there are certain persons who, because of the office they occupy, feel they are untouchable. They cannot be arrested. They are above the law. That's exactly what is playing out.
Mommy, you want to watch YouTube?
Not my phone again. Every time YouTube.
Oh, mommy, we want to watch YouTube.
You want to watch YouTube? Not with my phone. Go and watch TV.
What? There's no YouTube on our TV.
That's before. With the new Airtel Smart Router, for just 25,000 naira, you can watch YouTube and more on any TV, even our own TV.
Really? Yay! Thank you, Mommy.
Oh, you're welcome.
This season, turn any TV into a smart TV with the Airtel Smart Router and watch Nollywood movies, football, and lots more on YouTube with unlimited data for 30 days. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
My guy, look where they go now. Our guys they wait to.
Bros, my body no gree cooperate today.
Which can yawa be that? I beg come sit down, Joe.
Sit down?
Yes.
The thing no gree me now.
Abi that your pile wahala don't come again?
Oh, pile wahala no be small thing oh. Now so you go to start you. If it swell up or to the common blood self, to sit down self now gbege. That's why I say make you tackle pile problem with Anudol suppositories. Anudol suppositories get bismuth subgalate, balsam peru, and zinc oxide to tackle pile. So you go fit the kankwe to do your work sharp.
Oh yeah, my guys. Make we go. Madam do good. One bottle for my guys.
Hey! Anudol suppositories, now your relief for pie. Anudol suppositories, now daily need industries they make up. Make una read the product leaflet too. If after 2 days you know better, go see your doctor.
Achọrọ m ka anyị mee emume ekeresimesi anyị n'ebe kasị elu. Achọrọ m ọkụ ekeresimesi na-emuke emuke nke onye ọbụla ga-ahụ.
Chee echiche buru ibu.
Dịka gịnị?
Pankeki emere nke ọma na-etoru n'uko ụlọ ya na mkpụrụ osisi akwụkọtara ọnụ eji mmiri ara ehi piknik m hụrụ n'anya wee mee.
Maka naanị m, nke a bụ emume ekeresimesi n'ebe kasị elu.
Ebe kasị elu nke oge a gụnyere n'ọnọdụ na-enye anyị obi ụtọ maka na ekeresimesi dị elu bụ ekeresimesi agbara n'ebe ọ dị elu.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Beat the drop na Coke Studio. Zụta Coke ka iwe nwere ohere iji merie njem gara South Africa. Akwụkwọ ikike nkwanye ugwu, tiketi emume VIP na ndị ọzọ. Jidekere maka Coke gị lee koodu QR dị n'akwụkwọ mmadụ Coke. Wee tinye koodu n'okpuru okpueze ọcha ma ọ bụ jidekere maka Coke rọba gị. Lee Coke QR dị na label ma tinye koodu n'okpuru okpueze ọcha iji nweta ihe nrite ozugbo. Fanta, Sprite na Schweppes nọkwa n'ihe ọchị a. Ndị FCCPC na ndị NLRC kwadoro. T na C na-emetụta gị.
Dear sandwich.
Dear French fries.
Dear jollof fries.
Dear fried yam.
Dear coleslaw.
Thank you for inviting me to the table. With every bite, I promise to elevate you from good to memorable. Experience the taste of Bama mayonnaise. With Bama mayonnaise, settling for good is never an option. There's good, then there's Bama-liciously good.
I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open, is it to squeeze, is it to scoop and is it to stir? Dishes come alive with so much taste. Stand up, pouch. Sonia tomato mix, of course. Sonia tomato mix, yes sir. Sonia tomato mix, stand up, pouch.
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand up pouch.
So much in love. Start your day and have a good time.
Kivo Krima.
Even when you need to clear your eyes.
Kivo Krima.
Or when you need to have the break time.
Kivo Krima.
If not tea or Pogarita.
Kivo Krima. Kivo Krima. Kivo Krima. Kivo Krima.
Good time moments with Kivo Krima.
Kivo Krima.
My son, help me check this phone. I don't know wetin Junior press. E no dey work again.
Make I see. Ah, mommy.
Wetin happen?
They don't block your line now.
Nobody like to chop blocking, no. So, if they don't block you unto say you not link your NIN to your Airtel line, run kitty go any Airtel shop with your NIN to unblock your line today. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
maka ihe isi ike dị n'obodo ezinụlọ gị wedata aka site n'ihe niile anyị ji eme ihe dị mkpa kwa ụbọchị ụgwọ ihe onyonyo site na premium rituo Ghana standard generator site na awa 4 rituo Ghana awa 2 ugbu a 3 crowns milk site na
biko wepụ aka na 3 crowns milk anyị o
maka gịnị
nne na-agba mbọ dị ukwuu n'ebe ezinụlọ anọ 3 crowns milk na-edochi ahụ nne ka o nwee ike na-agba mbọ ọfụma
ndị nne bụ ugogbe ukwu nke ezinụlọ jiri 3 crowns milk gosi nne gị na ọ dị nnukwu ezigbo mkpa
bido ugbu a gawa n'ihu anyị ga-esite n'ịṅụ mkpọ 3 crowns 3 kwa izuụka ma ṅụọzie mkpọ 3 crowns milk 6 kwa izuụka
3 crowns milk ndị nne ahụ siri ike ezinụlọ obi dị ụtọ.
With profound gratitude and deep sense of appreciation, the entire Ogbonnaya Okudo Okwe dynasty, Abonta Iketenwo, Okoko Item, Bende local government area of Abia State, thank our amiable governor, Dr. Alex Choma Oti, on the appointment of our son and head of the family, Professor James Ndukwo Okudo, as the Vice Chancellor, Abia State University, Otoru. Your Excellency, sir, we cannot thank you enough for this. We pray that God Almighty will continue to imbibe in you Solomonic wisdom as you continue to steer the affairs of our great state. Long live Abia State. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Signed, Professor Chijoke Okudo, Barrister Uche Okudo, Mr. Ogonnaya Okudo, Mr. Godwin Ndubisi Okudo, Evangelist Mrs. Jane Emeku Ne Okudo, and Evangelist Mrs. Okuchi Maxwell Okoronkwo Ne Okudo, for and on behalf of the family.
Obingwa, concern. Obingwa, concern. Concerned citizen. Obingwa, be your brother's keeper. We, the entire members of Obingwa Concerned Citizens of Nigeria, congratulate the executive chairman of Obingwa, Honorable Mascot Chinwibe Nwadike, on his victory during the last local government elections. We pray for more wisdom on you, sir, and we also invite the public to our get-together and launching of many things we have achieved this year 2024. It calls for celebration. Date Sunday, 22nd December 2024. Venue opposite Urata Council Hall by Umozuo Road. Special guests of honor: our patron Apostle Uchechi Enwereji, Labour Party Chairman Obingwa, Chikere Owala, Chikasen Motors, Honorable Kenneth Nwanugo, aka Ichie Bongo Aba, Chairman.
Trust and obey, for there's no other.
A na-agwa ndị otu ụka Apostolic Christian Church Mission ACCM Worldwide niile ka ha leghara oku a na-akpọ aka kpọkwasịrị Reform Conference nke asị ga-abịa site na Thursday abalị 12 ruo Saturday abalị 14 n'ọnwa ebe isi ozi anyị dị nọ na nọmba 34 Ọmụma Road, Aba. Biko enweghị ihe dịka ihe omume a akpọkwasịrị Reform Conference, kama ọ bụ ekpere obubu ọnụ bụ ihe dị na Friday abalị 13 nke ọnwa a bụ Septemba. Enweghị onye ọbụla bụ onye otu ụka a chọrọ ka ọ bịa ihe omume conference a, n'ihi na onye isi anyị bụ Bishop J.U. Esinna amaghị maka ya. Ọ bụ Apostle Amechi IC, General Missionary Secretary, tiri aka n'ọkwa.
For there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
All right, we're back from the commercial break. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has faulted the Edo State House of Assembly for suspending the chairpersons of the 18 local government areas in the state. Briefing journalists in Abuja on Thursday, the minister said that it was only the legislative arm of government, that is of local governments, that could sack or place council chairmen on suspension. He said that under the current dispensation, local government chairmen cannot use or just be removed or suspended by any governor without following due process of law. Fagbemi stated that state houses of assembly lack the power to suspend or remove council chairpersons.
Why I'm a bit reluctant in answering questions along this line is I always want to know the basis. At times, what you read on pages of newspapers may not necessarily be what informed the decision. But one thing that I know, and I can say without any fear, is that under the president has the right to remove any local government chairman. That much I know. If I didn't know, since July 11, 2024, I became aware of it, that removal of any local government chairman or official would be the prerogative of that local government through their legislative house. Thank you.
You recall that the Edo State House of Assembly suspended the chairpersons and their deputies for 2 months over alleged gross misconduct. The Speaker of the House, Blessing Agbebako, said Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo had written a petition to the Assembly regarding the chairperson's refusal to submit the financial records of their councils to the state government.
Well, Monday Okpebolo unfortunately did not get the right brief from his Attorney General, or he probably got the right brief but decided not to listen to the Attorney General because he's the governor. He feels he could bulldoze and intimidate elected executive chairmen of the local government, 18 local government areas in Edo State. But what he has failed to realize is with the pronouncement by the Supreme Court on July 11, such anomalies, such abuses that we have seen over time from state governors would cease to exist. The only influence governors would have now is whenever they want to conduct local government election, they can afford to handpick their loyalists, reach an agreement with them and say, if you get this every month, this comes here, this goes here. But beyond that, those states with staggered elections, the governors would always have the problem that Okpebholo is having today. The 18 local government chairmen emerged when former Governor Godwin Obaseki was still presiding over the affairs of Edo State. So as it is, they owe their loyalty not to Monday Okpebholo, who played no role in their emergence, but to a former Governor Obaseki, who was the governor when they were elected. Another thing I want to point out this morning is, going forward, there should be consequences for state governors who interfere in the administration of local government areas. We shouldn't leave that to the interpretation of the Attorney General of the Federation. What if Lateef Fagbemi decides not to speak and allow the Edo State House of Assembly and the governor there to have their way? Let's start institutionalizing things like this. Let it not be at the mercy of what the governor said, or I beg your pardon, what the Attorney General said, or what Mr. President said. Another thing is, the State House of Assembly failed to realize that each of these local governments also have their own houses of assembly. Just like them, they are lawmakers. At the local government areas, we call them councillors. It is in the place of these councillors to suspend, impeach elected chairmen, and not the state governor who wakes up one morning and say, okay, come and explain to me how you spent this money. And because the chairman said, no, Oga, you're going beyond your boundary, you decided to write to the State House of Assembly to suspend them. If the governor has any case against these elected lawmakers, what he should do is petition the EFCC or the ICPC. Let them take a look at the books of this local government chairman, and not him using his governorship powers to intimidate them.
Well, Okpebholo, that less than 1 month after being voted and sworn in as governor, is being called the working governor, the bulldozer, Mr. Infrastructure. In fact, I'm told that there is a specific guy who has been employed just to orchestrate slogans for the governor. There's a working governor and there's a working governor. The one that, the governor that can trek from here to Osisioma, because the guy likes trekking,
okay,
to show that he has energy. And if he treks, fine. He's been trekking since he was like 1.5 years, if not 2 years. He will be walking, as in trekking, but working, as in WORKING, would be seen after some time. So for anybody to now have the job of just hyping the governor less than a month after being, sworn in, I think that is an abnormality. And if I were the governor or those who have his ears, I'll say, please, let's find another job for this man. That is, by the way, yes, there is what is called initial gragra. This is a governor that, quote and unquote, could not express himself during the campaigns. Whether it was digitally, manipulated, one would not know. But there was a recent one during the budget presentation. That is also, a human error. Anybody can have such. A governor who is still, learning the ropes, as it were, because he's not a chartered politician. We have chartered politicians in this country who learn the rope of intrigues, not interests, from the beginning to the end, and they apply it wherever they find themselves. But there are also technocrats who have found themselves in government, accidental civil servants, as an El-Rufai would call himself, and that is, because of the influence of an outgoing governor. We've seen quite a number of them. Okpebholo is one of them. If you ask the average Edo person, Okpebholo is not the choice. Even for the APC, they had people in mind who they thought would do better. But because it was the choice of, the ruling party, the Adams Oshomelis of this world, who are strong in Edo State, he has found himself on the seat of power. But I think he should not go the Tinubu way of making pronouncements before you begin to make adjustments. That suspension was wrong. And thank God that the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice did not go the way of politicians by saying, oh, this is a man of my political party stock, so let me just allow it to go. And the tension would have been, getting higher and higher.
Other governors will start copying.
And Edo State could be volatile when such things are on ground. I tell you, I'm happy that he has intervened, but it should go beyond that. There should be further interpretations. There should be further analysis and submissions as to where the buck stops, as to the dichotomy of authority between the governor and the local government chairman, because they are executive chairmen that enjoy some level of autonomy today. And I think anybody who is worthy of being a governor should also read through the books beyond the authority of a governor to know where the buck stops, like I've said. I don't want a situation where governors go under the circumstance, they go cutting their noses to spite their faces. Because for me, if you have an attorney general in your state and it takes the federal attorney general to interpret the law as espoused by the Supreme Court for that matter, then I think something is wrong, by the way. But it's also good that the attorney general has said this, because there's a precedence now in terms of where or what it should be. So no governor anywhere in the country should just wake up and say, the local government chairman are my errand boys. Of course, the present ones are of the PDP stock, but it doesn't matter. If they are not serving the people, if they are corrupt, we have anti-graft agencies to deal with the matter. And if the submission of the accounts and details and all that are necessary, is it at the end of their tenure? Is it while they are in office? Should it be to the governor, or there should be another body to which it should go? Maybe an incoming local government chairman who will be given, a handover
notes.
And then if the local government chairman is not clear about one or two things, can ask them questions, and if they don't answer, can approach the EFCC. I think we should find a way to make it cleaner so that Mr. Governor can face his work. I'm told that Edo needs a whole lot of job, infrastructure-wise. That is what I see on the internet. If it is true, then let him work so that he can actually bear the name Mr. Infrastructure.
Well, we move on to other issues. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has denied reports that Adeniran Adeyemi, the Statistician General of the Federation, was summoned by the Department of State Services, DSS, for questioning. The clarification followed recent release of a contentious report on ransom payments in Nigeria by the NBS, which revealed that Nigerians paid a staggering 2.23 trillion naira in ransom between May 2023 and April 2024. The NBS published its Crime Experience and Security Perception Survey on December 17, sparking widespread reactions. However, less than 24 hours later, the agency's website was hacked. Reports had it that Adeyemi was called in by the DSS for interrogation regarding the methodology and data used in the report. Clarifying the rumors, Ichedi Sunday, the head of communications at the NBS, has come out to dismiss the claims. Quote, "I can authoritatively say the reports are not true." Sunday added that he was with Adeyemi until late Wednesday night when the news broke out and there was no communication from the DSS. I also spoke to him today and I can confirm that he was never called by the DSS for interrogation, quote and unquote.
Well, the Statistician General has a ministry and a minister that he reports to. And even if he's directly under the presidency, as the case may be, then he can also be oversighted, I think, by the head of the civil service of the Federation or the secretary to the government of the Federation. He can also be queried for giving incorrect information. Bringing the DSS into this, is it because his statement has escalated or exacerbated, the insecurity in the land? It is just an information regarding the insecurity in the land in terms of what people paid from their pockets, not that government paid the ransoms. The ransoms were paid by individuals, whether the amount is correct or incorrect. At what level has that, brought about the issue of DSS, either inviting him or querying him, or, as some say in some quarters, arresting him and detaining him? I don't think anybody would want to make this country look like a military state, a dictatorship. We are in a democracy. And there are rules, there are ethics, there are regulations, there are processes. Anybody can err, and if the Statistician General has erred, maybe one figure. It's possible that sometimes you want to send 10,000 naira and just add 10 by mistake, and it's 100,000, isn't it? So why don't they check through the books, if at all there was any query of any sort that would even warrant an arrest if possible? Has he gone fighting any community? Has he, instigated any war or crisis anywhere? Well, the Attorney General just said that because some facts are not before him, but because he knew that some pronouncement was made by the Supreme Court on July 11, he could ride on the crest of that to give, the analogy of, where the line, passes through between the governors and the local government chairman. And so I want to believe also that those who quoted the Statistician General may have quoted him out of context. And if it is maybe in the course of typing that things were wrong, then it can also be corrected. Ben, you recall that there was, in the last election, a high-ranking court in Nigeria gave a pronouncement in Kano, that was upside down. And what they could tell Nigerians was that it was typographical error. On the final day of judgment, if not, there was another window for the courts to look at the case again. If it was to end there, you know that the winner would have lost.
Abba Yusuf, that's right.
In Kano, because they said it was typographical error. And what was on paper from the court was jaundiced, as it were. Thank God that those with eagle eyes said, no, but this is not the right thing. Up until now, those who made that error have not been brought to book. Not to our knowledge. I want to believe you are not aware. So, I don't know why we make a mountain out of, an anthill. But thank God that they have also debunked it. So I think it should stand at that.
Well, it was the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, that told Nigerians that national security supersedes the law and constitution of this land. I think that's exactly what is happening. The report released by the NBS embarrassed the government. As soon as that report was released, there were meetings after meetings. Even the NSA, the National Security Advisor, had to meet with some top echelons of the security agencies we have in this country. Ours is a climb where the government doesn't like the truth, especially when they feel the truth is against them. They always want to paint a picture of all is well. And this particular administration, the administration of President Bola Tinubu, has been caught many times in a lying position. Remember when the president went to Dubai and came back and told Nigerians that the visa restrictions on Nigerians have been lifted, only for Dubai to release a statement saying no, that the discussions our president had with their own royal family there did not include anything about visa restriction. We can go on and cite examples. Even the debts that the previous administration accrued, the ways and means, the current administration said it had cleared it. But experts came out to say no, that it was not possible for the present administration to say they have cleared it. So we can cite so many examples. We are Nigerians. We are stakeholders. The country belongs to us. We know our reality. For me, this is akin to what Kemi Badnoch said in UK, and the vice president and some government officials have been calling for her neck. This is akin to what the superstar musician Davido said, that insecurity is at an all-time high in this country. And instead of the government officials to say, okay, what this person is saying is the truth, what have we seen from them? Their reaction is to the contrary, that, hey, you're painting the country black, you're doing this, you're doing that. So I think Nigerians should stand up for the statistician general. The NBS under him has been doing a yeoman's job. There are reports you see and you begin to wonder, you begin to ask if this man's salaries do come from the government, because the government do not like such reports. They always have a way of intimidating and harassing people who work for such organizations. Is it a coincidence that less than 24 hours after that report was published on the NBS website, the website went down? As we speak today, if you try accessing NBS website, you can't. So it is obvious that something is wrong somewhere. The government is just not happy with the reports. There's no way a government website will be hacked for this long and the government would not issue a statement. So,
Ben, for me, I think those who are opportune to be in government should realize that Nigerians are becoming more and more aware, particularly in the advent of social media. The semi-illiterate person with an Android phone can also browse through the internet. Yes, the information may be right or wrong, but he is, knowledgeable about what is and what is not. Whether they are right or wrong, that is not what I'm saying. Now, there is a statistician general. Should we take it to the level we have? Look at what you just said. The website is down. What a coincidence. And I think this is what is called an uncanny coincidence. The fact is, those in government are human beings, and anyone can goof at any point in time. And it is a human error, unless it is deliberate. And when it is repeatedly done in that manner, for how long will we continue like this? There are a lot of things to talk about. Even as we speak now, there are very many strong Nigerians who are angry with the activities of Enwike in the Federal Capital Territory, including the immediate past President Buhari and many other big names. If it is reported now, that this is not right, this is not wrong, I want to believe that the minister will come out and say, let the heavens fall. And when we have reactions like from government, it's akin to a minister saying, let the heavens fall. We are all human beings. You leave us to government, and you leave government to come back to us. Isn't it? Nobody remains there forever. Even those who are being recycled, at the end of the day, there is an end to the recycling, and other people will come on board. But the problem is that we are not learning from the good things of the past. We're always learning and adapting the bad things of the past. Oh, they did it so in so and so government, so we can do it too. Nothing happened. Now my own time when it will happen. That is the kind of problem we have in this country. We have to take this country back and ensure that things work well. Nigeria is greater than what we're seeing. We talk about insecurity. Just this morning, I wasn't joking when I said I bought a tiny piece of onion for 200 naira with I beg. I was not joking. Where the onions are produced, what happens there, you and I know. I come from a state whose slogan is food basket of the nation. Just yesterday I was analyzing what that food basket means and why you cannot have the food basket anymore. And it's all, insecurity that is causing it. And we should not talk about it. And a man who qualifies enough to be a statistician general. Anyway, you get us, Ben. Let's look at this quickly before we go on our final break and then go interactive. The Executive Director, Center for Transparency and Advocacy, Engineer Face Mwadichi, says the citizens must educate themselves on contents of Abia State Administration of Criminal Justice Law of 2017. If there is need, to call for its reform to ensure access to justice when needed. The executive director stated this on Thursday during the inauguration ceremonies of the 3-day capacity building workshop in Umuahia, organized by Center for Transparency Advocacy in collaboration with Abia State Ministry of Justice, supported the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Program of the European Union. The executive director said knowing the contents of the criminal justice law would enable the citizens hold those implementing it accountable when their rights are violated, and also strengthen the rule of law through effective implementation.
Citizens don't know their right or what they should do. You're just going around a circle without really making impact. So we are trying to get citizens to be aware of this law so that they can engage more the security agencies and engage the other stakeholders. So we are looking at those who are the first points of the crime, the police, the NSCDC, the DSS, all of those security agents. Then you follow on to get the lawyer involved, and then eventually you get to court. What happens when judgment is passed? Then you go to where they take them, the correctional services. So people need to know their rights along these lines.
Absolutely. Also speaking, the communication officer of Center for Democracy and Advocacy, Mr. MacDonald Ekemezie, said the project sought to enlighten the citizens and address critical issues in the criminal justice system, which include improper extraction of confessions, detainee mistreatment, delayed justice, poor inmate conditions, unauthorized detentions, and unsanitary conditions of correctional facilities, which is said undermine the Abia State Administration of Criminal Justice Law.
Very unfortunate incident, and we all know how much it takes the federal government to train one cadet officer. We have listened to your complaints, and we will take measures to brief His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia.
All right, correspondent Godwin Ike reports that the program featured lectures from resource persons, including Barrister Chimezie Uluoha and Mr. Unjoku Udoka, on the rights of citizens and the need to apply them, including decongesting the correctional facilities in the state.
Okay, so there you have it. We'll be taking our last break right now before we go interactive. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Mommy, you want to watch YouTube? Not my phone again. Every time YouTube. Oh, mommy, I want to watch YouTube. You want to watch YouTube? Not with my phone. Go and watch TV. But there's no YouTube on our TV. That's before. With the new Airtel Smart Router, for just 25,000 Naira, you can watch YouTube and more on any TV, even our own TV. Really? Yay! Thank you, Mommy. Oh, you're welcome.
This season, turn any TV into a smart TV with the Airtel Smart Router and watch Nollywood movies, football, and lots more on YouTube with unlimited data for 30 days. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
When you think of Rex Insurance, think of the resilience of overturning a 4-0 scoreline in injury time. Think of the integrity of frying a bunch of soft golden plantain without tasting any.
Femi, you have tasted more than half of the plantain on the fire.
Think of the efficiency of making a sumptuous plate of afang with just 3,025 Naira.
Customer, now 220 Naira remain for my hand. I beg, give me periwinkle.
At Rex Insurance, our values of resilience, efficiency, excellence, integrity, and teamwork have remained unwavering since 1918. No matter your business, agriculture, aviation, engineering, general accident, energy, motor and marine, our values and prompt claims payment are your assurance of our commitment to you. Rex Insurance, you're not alone.
My kids love tasty snacks, but many snacks are not so good for them. That's why I love the new Milo Anna Snacks.
We love it, Mom.
Yes, it's a delicious snack with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
So, pack Milo and snacks in their lunchbox every day to help your kids refuel at break time and keep winning all day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo! I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up.
tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Hey, here's a question for you. What gets you out of bed in the morning? Is it the sunrise? The sound of your alarm? No, it's that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force inside you. And you know what fuels that drive? It's starting your day strong with the rich, creamy taste of Nescafe Original 3-in-1, carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. So, whatever your hustle, go from maybe or I can't to I can and I will. Nescafe Original 3-in-1. Start strong, finish strong.
Start your day and have a good time. Kivo Krima. Even when you need to clear your eyes. Kivo Krima. Or when you need to have the break time. Kivo Krima. It's not tea or Gary time. Kivo Krima. Kivo Krima. Kivo Krima. Kivo Krima.
Good time moments with Kivo Krima.
Kivo Krima.
Hey, ekeresimesi abịakwala ọzọ. Ọ ga-adakwa ụda dịka Union Bank na-eme ka ihe dị mma site na amụma Save and Win Pali Promo 4. Ọtụtụ ọmarịcha ihe nrite gbọrọ kasa iji kporie ndụ n'oge a dịka mgbanye fuel n'efu, ego na akwụkwọ ndọrọ ihe onyinye gasị ọbụla dị ọgba tum tum na keke ọhụrụ sokwa. Iji rite ihe ndị a chekwa $10 maọbụ karịa n'ọba ego gị dị na Union Bank ma kwụnye maọbụ wepụta ego ihe ruru ugboro 5 n'ọnwa. Iji mepe ọba ego gaa na unionbankng.com. Enwekwara ihe ndị so ya o. Union Bank.
Influence and achievements of our diaspora community.
Featuring display of Abia cultural heritage through dance,
Youth panelists,
national and international speakers,
government engagement and conversations,
award and gala night.
Special guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Alex Joma Oti, OFR, Governor of Abia State.
Members of the State Executive Council and other government appointees.
The Speaker and House of Assembly members.
Mayors and their deputies. Homecoming for Homewarming Summit. Date, Sunday 22nd and Monday 23rd December 2024.
Time, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Venue for both days, International Conference Center, Umuahia.
For bookings, contact +4670 415-8382 or +4474 6858 7517. For Europe,
+1617 858 4210 or +1214 4402 5877 for America.
+2773 4822 732 or +2349 167 354264 for Africa.
Place your advert for networking.
High Chief Naya I Alamba, Chairman, Homecoming Committee, Honorable Allwell Oke Abara, Chairman, Abia Diaspora Commission, for and on behalf of Abia Diaspora Commission.
See you there.
Look at what is happening in our nation. Everything, all that we need here is money. That is why they are playing through the details of their employees. I mean, good people at the end of that phase. Look at the budget passage has gone to second reading right now, and eventually you will see it pass in a twinkle of an eye, and that has been happening even in state houses. Well, you use the correct word, stooge. Well, that is what the mobilized state of lawmakers from the top to the least level. So, thank you for the good work you've been doing. I'm also very much. I thank even the opposition. That is only the avenue, the two avenues where we can hear the correct news or the correct happenings in the politics.
All right.
So, what's wrong with our people? Because we want to make money.
All right, let's thank you. God's power, right? Thank you for the kind words. When you talk of opposition in the last 1 year plus, for me, I think the opposition has not been in the National Assembly. We are not hearing the erstwhile opposition voices in the National Assembly as we used to. Fine, PDP as a party outside of government once in a while comes up. As we speak, if you ask the average Nigerian who is it acting national chairman of the party, they don't even know. Yes, we're mentioning PDP because it's the second biggest party, as it were, quote and unquote, but where are the other parties? Some of them have members in the National Assembly. Some people are saying on the street that even those who are in the National Assembly on the platform of some of these lesser, quote and unquote again, political parties, are actually members of the bigger parties, and that they got the ticket of the lesser parties because they couldn't get it on the bigger ones. Rightly or wrongly, I may not say exactly, but I think we need to see the opposition on the floors of the National Assembly as well. Until that happens, we may not think that there is real opposition yet. Let's hear you. Talk to us.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome. Your name and location.
Good morning.
Morning, you're welcome.
I got it from Nicola about the stage. I know that I worry, but I'm not hearing from you. Let me give my opinion. First of all, I thank God who granted from the center of the 2024 let this year become to the end. I hope, I believe that the Almighty God will send us through to next year, 2025. I see a good thing coming. I thank all the magic crew and the fans and everybody apart from the leaders, we thank God for giving us precious life to see the next year. Also, I want to, say about the budget even present some days ago, and the regular assembly meeting for 48 hours during 2 separate holidays to tell me the kind of the legislation we have. I ask myself, I think they have ability, they have power, to review the 2024 budget. So know whether this year budget, if they present this year budget before they pass the other budget. And president, turning president, to question some of their ministers to answer them. There is a place. The National Assembly, the Senate is nothing. They don't going to complain to the president to question their appointee in the House of the Legislature. So, because the way our lawmakers tell themselves in the hand of executive, that is the right way every time you see the Senate president carry complaint, telling the appointee to answer the National Assembly. So, for me, the way things is going, it's going very wrong. They tell themselves so cheap. That is why they are going and best president to tell the minister to come and answer them and the other appointees. It's a very, very shameful in a democracy like Nigeria. That's my contribution this year. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's take a look at the Facebook page. We have some comments dropping on the Facebook live feed. Lock Wankwo, you're watching live from Diaso, Ghana. Thank you. Adugo Collins, Opara, you're watching live from Abaumode to be precise. Thank you. Okay, let's see if we can take from the post we made on our page. Okay, Chika Wadima, you're saying happy Hamatan season to everyone. Thank you. Comrade Ima Ugona, Friday. Why is the National Assembly delaying the budget? They ought to have passed it. They give express passage to the executive bills. Did the new national anthem bill pass such scrutiny? It is well in this country. Keep up the good work. Chibus or DMS Ekwemu. AGF should not allow the state governors have sure power to remove elected local government area chairmen to avoid other state governors following suit. Hyacinth Obuna. The national budget presented by Mr. President is being pushed for passage with military precision without bothering to scrutinize the budget document as presented. Seeing how they sang praises and clapped for the Senate President as he eulogized President Bola Tinubu, why he came to present his budget. Obviously, Most National Assembly members may not even glance at a paragraph of the budget documents, but will have to vote for its passage to the detriment of their constituents. Ishaq Ahmed, the budget has not shown any effects in the country because they are not doing the necessary things that would move the country forward. Some ministries are not even functioning, only spending unnecessarily. Urum Oki, Edo State, all players on the political turf need to know their boundaries. All right, thank you. Austin Ojo, I'm impressed and delighted to hear that the governor of Edo State did not succeed in his quest to remove the elected chairman of the various local governments in the state. If he had succeeded, that would have been a major setback on the autonomy of local governments in Nigeria going forward. Ikpeazu Chinedu Bright thanks the Attorney General for setting the record straight on the purported suspension of the elected local government chairman. Even though most governors have made the local government chairman not to know their rights, it can only be the local government legislatures. Okay, Oxford Lucius from Eyimba Stadium Plaza. Honestly, Ben, you have said it all, because all local government chairmen have their own lawmakers, which is the councillors, and they are the only body that can impeach their local government chairman. Let the truth be told. Waboso Chijo, Adams Oshomola and Edo people chose roadside mechanic as their governor. Governor where they do like carpenter Nasuegbe, okay, according to late fella Nicola Pokuti. Also Francis Nnamani from Amegunze in Enugu State. Government at all levels should focus on how to fix and diversify Nigeria's economy rather than going for foreign loans repeatedly in order to save the image of this country. Owefi Inayerugo Uzoma, Nigeria is encouraging jungle justice, and I see it coming soon. Okay, how? Engineer Chigozie Stanley, thank you for your kind words. Okay, let's go back to the phone lines and take more calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and location.
International correct, my name. I want to say something concerning. I did not see how quickly they could pass this president Muhammad Buhari the budget. After they did not already. The Senate is about Senate between the House of Reps, because what is something they did when they changed the it took them only 2 weeks to pass into law. But there are other problems, other mental issues that are on ground. They keep on delivering, and refuse to pass into law. Even once President Ahmed Bola Tinubu bring in any proposal that you see them rush into and rush to pass into, all of them are just a wet senator, because they don't have any value to Nigeria. What they only have value to President Ahmed Bola Tinubu only.
All right, God bless you too. Hello, good morning.
DMB, good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and location. Go ahead.
You people, they try. And in this broadcasting service, you people, they try. But in Nigeria, so-called leaders, seems like they are king. Nobody will tell me what I will do. Somebody will not get when they listen to advice. How can the country progress? I have a song. Nigeria,
Hello, sorry, we won't allow this. Just tell us what you want to tell us and we can go ahead.
Thank you.
Bless you. Okay, let's go on our last break. We'll still be back.
Go see your doctor. Hey, here's a question for you. What gets you